In January of this year, I told myself this: don't let the year become your year. Rather, make it that way. Now, it's hard to tell whether or not I followed through on my own advice, but I can tell you that regardless of whether or not it was, quote, my year, I can tell you one thing for sure. 2020 was the year I needed. Now, you've probably heard all about it, so I'm going to spare you the details. 2020 was a hell of a year for us all, but it seems to me that the only socially acceptable way to view 2020 is with doom and gloom. And fair enough, while there is considerable reason for that, personally, I found so much value in this year. Between staying home, stopping work, and online class, I learned many things that I otherwise wouldn't have had the year gone any differently. The first of two major lessons I learned this year was one on perspective. I think we all thought this year would pan out differently. In fact, I planned out a bunch of different things myself. But in every place where I lost an opportunity, I gained another one, maybe even better. Among other things, I found more time to read my Bible, more time to read in general, to work on myself and work on my hobbies. Ironically, this year gave me the chance to work out more, since I started working out at home. In a period of social distancing and confinement, it actually helped me work on my interpersonal skills too. I made some new friends and reconnected with old ones. I was still able to try new things or revisit things that I had neglected. In most cases, it was simply a matter of changing my outlook and not being hard stuck to what I originally had hoped. Now, it'd take a video of its own to explain exactly what happened for me this year, but suffice it to say that there were some major changes involved, which brings me to my second lesson: humility. From canceled flight plans to changing life paths, 2020 has taught me that truly nothing is for certain, and the one thing I can do about it is to learn to adapt, evolve, and to trust in God alone. When it all comes down, we're all only human. We're limited by our circumstances, our resources, our time and energy. It's incredibly humbling and actually feels somewhat better to know that I'm not in control. Plans fall through and things change. We have little say in the things that are out of our control. So instead of trying desperately to hold on to everything, this year I learned to let go and trust God. At the end of the day, it's largely a matter of perspective, and this year helped me to shift mine. I know that I'm in a very fortunate place to be saying this, and that not many people can truly say this, but my 2020 was damn great. Arguably one of the best years of my life, because it taught me so much, especially considering the last few years where I just felt like I wasn't really going anywhere. It was no doubt different from what anyone could have possibly planned, but I wouldn't dismiss it simply because I didn't gain from it in the way I had hoped. I think there was so much to gain this year, just not in the places I expected. So, I know it's been a rough year for us all, and that things are far from where we would like them to be. But with that said, instead of closing the year with just good riddance, I also want to close it by saying thank you. Thank you, 2020, for the things you gave in exchange for the things taken. And thank you, God, for giving me the wisdom and the peace to realize that. Again, thank you, 2020. I won't miss you, but thanks anyway. Here's to 2021.